Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Guacamelee. If you remember from last time, we covered basically the intro all the way up to where the bonus content began in the Canal de las Flores. The flowery canal this is. Notice already the cool new music. And the first of these new enemy types. These jerks are the Exodals, which are very cool real-world animals. But they are somewhat frustrating to face in-game. They're not quite undodgeable, although it looks like they might be. All they really do is leap at you, and they do at least have the courtesy to show their face before they begin. It can be a nice source of intenso if you manage to get them, but if you're focusing on something else for some reason, like, oh, I don't know, two of the yellow Esquelitos, they can be a real thorn in your side. Two yellow Esquelitos at the same time has pretty consistently been one of the tougher challenges to face, just because by the time you're done dealing with one of them, the other one is wound up for something else. Alright, I've got enough for Intenso now, so that'll be good. I am probably going to want that, because coming up they've got quite a challenge. This is, like I said, the new area, and so this is really the one part of the game where they have gone out of their way to design scenarios and enemy waves that really are of benefit, use El Intenso a lot. I think these guys are endless, making them really the only endlessly farmable within the same region enemies of the game, which is interesting, I suppose. Okay, let's see. I think I can... Oh, I've got 4,000. Yeah, I can start getting everything. I've got a stun boost, and then the Intenso stuff is very expensive, but I'm going to start... I think I'm going to start buying stuff up here. Maybe... I don't know. No, stun boost is too good. But I can still afford some of this other stuff, then. Brilliant. Okay, stamina... delay it is. Alright. Very good. So there goes that guy with nary a word in our direction. He merely summons some armadillos. It's kind of funny with the yellow ones, because those would be Amarillo armadillos. That being, of course, Spanish for yellow. There's that high school Spanish being put to good use. You know, I wonder if I'm meant to Intenso here. Doesn't quite seem bad enough yet for me to want to do that. I am an awful hoarder in basically every game, and so if there's a limited resource of any kind, even a refillable one like Intenso... See, I probably should have popped the Intenso there, and that would have saved me from that. Alright, I'm going to go Intenso this time. And we will see it for all its glory. Well, after I take out these two chumps. It really is a waste to use it when there's only one or two guys around. But you can very well see... Alright, here we go. There. I'll shut it off there to save some, but yeah, that health boost, plus the quick kills for all these guys was very nice indeed. One of the other real benefits of grappling, of course, is the ability to knock down other enemies from a distance and do damage to them. You can see that the yellow guys have some improved dodging in this update. They'll occasionally get that blue field surrounding them, which is basically the same as our dodge roll. It just means that for that brief period of time you're not hitting them. So there's new music in this area, as well as some new mechanics. Those twisty blocks are things we've not seen before. Oh, yeah, I knew about that. Thanks, chicken, though. And here's a new kind of block that I don't think we've seen yet. It's purple, and it's got an egg by it. That is something that we will not be getting for a little bit yet. But just another thing we go back and check old areas for. There we see the... oops, dumb of me. There we see the shiny walls, which is the harbinger of the Dead World traps. Here, the ability to cling to walls really does come in handy. I think this is kind of fun. You know, it would be really easy for a new area like this to just kind of feel tacked on and, I don't know, only included as sort of a sop to give people something new that they would want. But it really feels like they spent some time trying to make this Canal de las Flores unique. Okay. Not fast enough there. Again, the puzzle it's not really a puzzle at all, I guess. Just a brief platforming test, and one which I failed pretty badly at, but hey, can't argue with, I was gonna say, I guess it returns you to the last, yeah, that's right, it would return you to the last platform that you had touched, so, not half bad. Basically just got one more of those to go before I get my next level up. So yeah, the music is new. I mean, obviously all the backgrounds and stuff are new, and it does show that same, I don't know what I'm doing there, show that same attention to detail. Here's an Intenso flask, barrel, whatever you want to call that. Breaking those things open will give you a nice big boost to your Intenso. However, seeing them is as a sign that something maybe a little bit more intense is on the way. If you'll pardon the terminology there. Dodge rolled a little bit too early and got a chance to show off how truly bad the Pinata is at dealing with these big guys. I'm like 2 health upgrades in, and I'm still getting one-shotted by them. You know, pretty soon here I should really just switch to Alebrije. I'm still going to take massive damage, but at least I'll be doling out massive damage. Maybe when I get to the end of the Canal de las Flores, I'll switch to Alebrije or something. Or maybe before, maybe I'll do it for the boss. Okay, so this is of course one of those sections that I mentioned in which Intenso comes in very handy. Like I said, they are pretty nice about giving you some time to show off and use your new power, that it doesn't feel like a waste here in the actual scenario, the design for it. Oh, and look at that, they even give you a little refill. I completely lost track of where I was in that mess. Fortunately, they let you keep your old level of Intenso, so I'm almost up to it. I was going to say a little bit about the Axolotl itself. It's a fun little amphibian, something which is found down in Mexico and other North Central and South American places. The unique thing about the Axolotl is it's got a very cool genetic thing going on, where its traits are determined by the environment that it lives in, whether it's living in a dry area or a wet area. But in its natural environment, I think it was only naturally found in wet areas, and so we completely did not know about this entire other set of characteristics that it even had until I think somebody took it out of its natural environment and maybe had it in a zoo situation or something like that. Blech. Alright. I've suffered under the heel of the Pinata suit for too long at this point. And I think, well, first off, I think it might be time for me to get another upgrade. But secondly, I think we're changing costumes at this point. Ooh. I gain Intenso more quickly, taking damage drains Intenso. Intenso drains more quickly? I don't know about that. I think we're going to go Alebrije for a little bit. I'm really digging that new soundtrack, too. Alright, let's see what we can't do with both an Alebrije suit and El Intenso. You know, I remember I played through this once before a while ago, this whole Super Turbo Championship edition, and I remember even then, this particular canal ride, I don't know, maybe there's like different play styles, and this is just especially bad for me. Oh, yeah. See, that's the stuff. Doing an all-megs headbutt with Intenso and the Alabrije suit on, forget it. Yeah! Oh, that was brilliant. Literally 2 power moves to destroy one of the big guys. This is the most intense ferry ride I have ever been on. Isn't it a cool design, too? Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh no! Yes, thank you. I was kind of expecting to have the goat run there. Alright. Well done. We have passed the Canal de las Flores, and we now... hello there. He'd be a pretty good lookout, I guess. Thank you. I don't like it. Is he gonna fall asleep? Big head guy. Aw, I am sorry about that. You know what? I agree. Man, you had a rough life, big head guy. Anyway, that brings us to this town. Oh, we're getting a by the way. So presumably, this is the place that Tostada was talking about. Maybe she's from here? We will take no time. Crabs are the chickens of the canal, of course. A well-known precept. Alright, so this is kind of seems like an upgrade on the chicken map from level 1, wherein we are essentially settling a crab turf war, because why not at this point? With, it looks like, the added provocation. There we go. Oop. Get on out of there. No! Oh, I'm the worst at this. Alright. Step 1 is to get all opposing crabs out of clubhouses that they should not be in. Step 2, to separate them. This is not always a game where it's great to be, to have to throw people around in an extremely dexterous way. It's not exactly clumsy, but this game is a little, wild and woolly for that kind of thing. There we go. Ah, that wasn't too bad after all. I don't see that last purple crab in there. Maybe punches are better than throws for crabs. Maybe that's the life lesson for this time. No, 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 no! Dang it! I hate this crab turf war. This crab turf war is the worst. No! Get up and you stay. There. There we go. I will teach you to fear the Alabrije, purple crab. This is one of those things where if crabs are having a turf war in your house, I really feel like you need to re-examine some life decisions. Or just hire a passing luchador to deal with things for you. Man, how is Big Head Kid really going to deal with this? I guess he could have used his fishing pole to deal with them or something. Ugh, I'm glad we can enable your comfort. I'm more glad that we get a health upgrade. That is very welcome. Lady, please stop singing. Ooh, the Trio de la Muerte. I wonder if that has anything to do with the 3-part Esqueleto that we've seen running from us. True, true. I like this poster. A knuckle salad, and come on. Well, it's a fine barrier for Esqueletos. Ooh, and hey, there's a nice Olmec's head so we can teleport out. Combine that with a nice little Intenso boost. I don't quite have the skills to get up there yet. As with all areas, this is a place we're going to have to revisit. Well, there we go. I don't want to jump the gun, but I think it's possible that this may be Tostada. So whether she was a resident of this town, or whether she merely has a past defending it, it's hard to say, but she clearly used to be here. And they sort of revere her now. Look, that looks like a little statue they've got going to her. Oh, look at that guy. He kind of looks like an Alux, but got some serious differences in him there. Okay, there's at least some of this area that I can traverse with just the powers that I have now. Almost had it. Oh. I just gotta position myself so I don't fall out when the thing tilts. This is actually a little bit tricky because if you're not on a wall that's perpendicular to the ground clinging to it, it just knocks you right out. There we go. Nothing to it. And it was a sizable sum of money, as it had sort of better be, I guess, to make that worth my while. Oh, well, there we go. Just teleported me right back anyway. I do intend, as I believe I've mentioned on basically 100%ing this. Okay. No getting up there for now. There we go. Those are apparently vanishing style floors. Again, another little extra element that you won't find elsewhere in the game that I'm glad they included. Ooh. Oh, hey, and this is our first time meeting the Chupacabra. A serious contender for all-time least favorite enemy. So one nice thing about this map is that touching the spikes at the bottom just sends you back to the top, and it actually kills those enemies, making it rather convenient to deal with them. I still need that frog pound, and I'll be honest, the amount of frog pound blocks that we're finding around here is kind of making it seem like it's not going to be long before we get the frog pound. That looks like a chicken-only passage down there. It's good to keep note of these things for later when we'll have to do some more exploring. The Alabrije suit is so nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, having that extra gold was nice when it was coming in, but now that I've gotten a lot of the high-value targets, I feel pretty fine. I mean, we'll get enough money in the rest of the game to deal with these things. Now that I've got some good stamina upgrades and the like, I feel like it might be worth my while. Hey! Here's our next thing. I might have a towel. There we go. Oh, the frogs slam. Very nice. Oh, you don't mean it, Wei Chibo. You like us, I think. Okay. Some more stuff coming up here. So let's see what I can afford. Yeah, why not? I do feel like getting our health up should be a priority, especially as we're going to be going around. Hey, very nice. Extra stamina, extra health. Especially since we're going to be going around as the Alabrije. Any health ups I can get are obviously just very, very welcome. Okay. This doesn't look particularly hard to get. There we go. Obviously, so I'll have to come back here after I've defeated Ixtabe, and I have the ability to switch between dimensions. But for now, navigating this is easy peasy. I'll tell you, I really miss the double jump when I don't have it. You know, I think, it could be my imagination, but I think you take even more damage as the Pinata than you do as the Alabrije, which is frankly a little bit ridiculous. That's interesting. I don't think they've ever given you a platform that puts you right up at big guy level before. There we go. Playing as the Alabrije just makes the game so much easier. You forget how much you miss things until you don't have them. Now I'm going to save up the Intenso for a really valuable time. Again, I'm a terrible hoarder. We can see more blocks of all different shapes and sizes that we'll need to come back and get at some point. I walked right into that one. I do forgot that they have that dodge move that makes you unable to grab them. That actually cost me that back there. I am at least happy that I switched the title of this single player Let's Play from Pro Run to showing off the bonus content. Just in time for me to have forgotten a lot of the fighting tactics that I knew the first time around. So one thing that I've praised, and rightly so, is how easy and natural a lot of the mechanics from this game are. And indeed, there we go. This was super easy to pick back up and feel like I was at a, you know, a decent level to play at. I wasn't completely just some scrub. But there is a certain level of muscle memory and expertise that doesn't come back. Oh, I should go back this way. If only so that I unlock the way back to town and this teleport statue. Yeah, as I was saying, there's just a certain level of muscle memory expertise that you do kind of lose. Hey, here we go. Man, I'm pretty sure we don't want a pile of bones. Yeah. Well, there we go. Oh. Look at the one on the right. I love this little hat. Alright, calm it down. Campo Santo Quattro. It's got a kind of a nice ring to it. Look at that huge fish in the tank back there. I like that. Oh gosh. Always getting turned around by things overhead. Okay, so now we see one of the new guys for this chapter. And as advertised, they are very ferocious, as you can see, on a level playing field, but messed that one up. They don't do so well with things that are overhead, so that's what we're going to have to be going for. As with most other enemies in this game, while you can swing it, the 4 Olmecs headbutts in a row does a real number on them. Man, they even give you an arena that's capable of handling it this time. I am frankly embarrassed by that earlier defeat, but I like to think I made up for it by defeating them handily. So, this is apparently the source of all the Esqueletos that we've been facing, and he's been not exactly press-ganged into service, but I would argue probably tricked by Kalaka. Although, who knows, I guess Kalaka has taken over Hell and is sort of the ruler of the dead, so maybe he is able to resurrect Pedro, their cousin. I really like the idea of a composite mariachi band skeleton. And it's absolutely bonkers in the way that this game is when it's, doing its best work. There we go. Every little bit of damage really goes a long way in this game. Every ounce that you have to do, every time you don't have to take an Esqueleto through another round where they can, get away from you and roll away, and then you have to deal with them again. And hey, this gets us back up to the village proper. So we have effectively bypassed that long route, and oh no, I hear the Exodals down here. At least we get some pathway through, so this is pretty creepy. I don't know what this is meant to be. I know that there are such things as worry people, and I wonder if these are supposed to be those? Some sort of effigy, perhaps? If anybody has an idea as to what these are supposed to represent, I would love to hear it. I would. But that's about it for the campo. Now remember, this is all designed to get us into the forest. And so here's Pico de Gallo, which is the rooster comb. So, this is the eruption that we heard discussed earlier. Apparently, there's something to be done here in the Land of the Dead, so we'll have to come back and check this out later. Notice the statue to Tostada from earlier. I do like that, in addition to being a cool... Although you do wonder if you can just do that to locked doors, could we do that to every locked door we see? But in addition to being sort of a cool shrine guardian, luchador spirit or whatever, she's also pretty realistic. Yes, there's a lot of past here and there's a lot of history, but you know what? The rest of the world needs saving and we're the ones to do it. Alright, let's go through the rest of this secret passage. See where it puts us. Well, I'll be right to the desert, without much of a fuss at all. And here we are back at the Desierto Caliente, which is, in fact, where we would have gone directly to if we did not have the Super Turbo Championship Edition installed. And as you can see, we are right on the other side of Flameface's massive barrier here. If we go over, we'll see it right here. Goodness knows how he was able to do that. He Molotov cocktail or something, just through the power of alcoholism. Anyway, let's break this barrier, get into the Desierto Caliente, and I will catch up to you guys next time on Let's Play Guacamelee!